So you ever feel like you're just completely stuck with your flexibility? Like you stretch, you put in the time, but you're just not getting any more mobile? Well, what if I told you the problem isn't actually in your joints or your muscles? What if the real thing holding you back is all in your head?
Okay, let's just get right into it. On one side, you have the excuse we all use, right? The physical myth. My joints are just stiff. It feels so true. But the cognitive reality, what's actually happening, is probably closer to this. My brain is just wired to avoid slow, boring, focused work. And that is the real battle you're fighting.
Because here's the thing, improving your mobility, it's not just a physical thing you do. It's a massive cognitive challenge. To get more flexible, you literally have to change how your brain is wired to approach a certain kind of work.
Now, to really get this, we gotta talk about two big ideas from psychology. First is something called cognitive flexibility. That's just your brain's ability to switch gears and try new, often difficult things. And the second one is weak executive function. That's what's happening when your brain just can't stay focused, especially on something that isn't super stimulating, like, say, holding a deep stretch for 2 minutes. These two concepts, they're the foundation for every single mental block we're about to talk about, so keep them in mind.
So let's jump into the first two mental blocks. And both of these are all about actively resisting the exact kind of boring work that getting more mobile demands.
The first block is super simple. You just avoid learning new methods. You keep doing that same old hamstring stretch you learned in gym class, right? You want to adopt a real structured mobility routine because, let's be real, it seems hard, or it takes too much time, or it's just boring. This is a classic sign of low cognitive flexibility.
And listen, this quote really puts it into perspective. It basically says that when we deliberately avoid new things that could help us just because they feel hard, our brain is falling into a pattern of just sticking to the easiest possible tasks. And this doesn't just limit your mobility, it limits your growth everywhere, in your job, in your skills, you name it.
And that leads us perfectly into the second block. You just can't sustain your focus. This is a dead giveaway for weak executive function. You know the feeling, right? You get into a deep stretch, and within seconds, your mind is gone. You're thinking about work emails, figuring out dinner, literally anything except the task at hand. That mental wandering, that's what's killing the slow, steady work your joints need to get healthier.
And here's exactly what that looks like. Tell me if this sounds familiar. Step 1, you get into a good, deep stretch. Step 2, not even 10 seconds go by and you already feel that wave of boredom. Step 3, your brain instantly jumps to something more exciting, like your email inbox. And step 4, you let go of the stretch way too early, telling yourself, yep, that's enough. That cycle right there, that is the enemy of all progress. All right, let's talk about the next couple of blocks. These are all about our failure to be thoughtful and deliberate. This is where we just rush ahead without ever stopping to actually think.
So, block number 3, you repeat the same mistakes over and over and you totally ignore the feedback your body is giving you. Maybe you keep stretching your hamstring the wrong way and you feel a little pinch instead of a nice pull, but you never stop to ask why. Or you just neglect your tight hips day after day because you haven't taken 1 second to think about what's working and what isn't.
You know, there's actually a word for this. It's a lack of metacognition. Metacognition is just the ability to think about your own thinking. It's the skill of self-correction. And without it, you're just going through the motions, stuck in a loop and wondering why you're not getting any more flexible. To learn anything, you have to self-correct, and that starts with metacognition.
Now, mental block number 4 is a very close cousin to that one. You react without thinking. This is the habit of rushing. You blast through your warm-up to get to the real workout, or you fly through your cool-down. And when you do stretch, you just push way too hard, way too fast. You're prioritizing speed over safety and actual progress.
So what's happening in your brain here? Well, you're defaulting to what psychologists call System 1, or fast reactions. It's your brain's automatic, impulsive mode. But to really truly improve your mobility, you have to engage System 2, or slow thinking. This is the part of your brain that's deliberate, that's analytical. It requires you to pause. Smart thinking needs a pause. And you know what? So does smart stretching.
And that brings us to our final mental block. And honestly, this one might be the most sneaky and dangerous of them all. The overconfidence trap. This is the quiet belief that what you're doing is already good enough. You totally overestimate the quality of your own mobility work. And because you think you're doing great, you never look for expert advice, you ignore any feedback you get, and you don't feel any need to change your technique. You're comfortable. And you know what they say, comfort is the enemy of progress.
This is a textbook example of the Dunning-Kruger effect. It's a famous cognitive bias where we're not just bad at something, we're so bad that we can't even see how bad we are. We genuinely think we're doing a much better job than we actually are, which makes it almost impossible to get any better.
So after all that, what on earth do we do about it? Well, the path forward, the real way to unlock your body's potential, has way less to do with your muscles and everything to do with mental discipline.
If you walk away with just one thing today, let it be this. The absolute key to unlocking physical gains is fixing your mind's natural resistance to slow, focused, analytical work. You have to train your brain to actually embrace the very thing it wants to run away from. And trust me, that skill, the ability to do deep, deliberate work, is going to pay off way beyond the gym.
So here they are, the mental shifts you need to make. Think of it like a new workout plan, but for your brain. First, you have to actively embrace new and challenging methods. Go look for them. That's how you build cognitive flexibility. Second, practice sustained focus. Treat it like a bicep curl. Start by holding a stretch for 30 seconds with 0 distractions, then work your way up to a minute. Third, analyze and self-correct. Ask yourself, what am I feeling right now, and where? That's metacognition in action. And finally, consciously choose slow thinking over fast reactions. Just take a breath before you start, and be deliberate.
And all of this really leaves us with one final question to think about. The next time you feel like you've hit a wall, the next time you feel stuck, just ask yourself this: is my body really stuck, or is it just my thinking?